Welcome to 2020, a very pleasant time in the world and probably a time everyone loved. And we're going to be ranking all the games I played from this year in it. I played a good amount of games. I mean, there's a lot more games I haven't played. Looking at like this big list of games, I was actually surprised there were so many. But we got a solid lineup here. Some of these, it's been like 5 years, so they've even had sequels out, and some of them, these companies haven't put out anything. The first game I actually played the most recently, Half-Life Alyx. Very good game, easily the best VR game I have played. Even though this is like the second or third single player VR game I finished, but it's just on a whole different level. I wouldn't go S. I think VR still has room to grow as far as combat, make it a little more interesting, along with like storytelling in Alyx. I thought could have been a bit better. It's kind of like beginning and a little bit in the middle, but still, when it comes to VR games, this is the best VR game I have ever played. Cyberpunk. Now, I will always be a little cursed with the launch version being in my brain, but launch wasn't even a disaster for me. It was buggy, but I wasn't like a P. If you played this shit on PS4, it's probably 0 out of 10 for you because you couldn't even play the bitch. But I played it on PS5, and while buggy, it was good. I think the cops weren't amazing, and Phantom Liberty definitely bumps up to an A. It could change, but right now I'm feeling like Cyberpunk I like more than Alyx. Oh my god, we're getting like all the fucking best games right out of the way. Maybe I should. Yeah, I'm messing with the order. Let's get a stinker. Little Hope. I don't think the Dark Pictures trilogy really got it together till like House of Ashes. Little Hope, I don't remember shit about it, but it was bad. I never liked it. Was this actor Cameron Monaghan? Good actor. Shame he's tied to this game. But if you're looking for a horror game like Until Dawn, skip this one. Go buy House of Ashes. Much better game. Yes, Your Grace. Now this game does have a sequel out. I hope I get to it by the end of this year, but I don't know if I will. I think it's called Yes, Your Grace Snowfall. But this was a solid game. Does it? I don't know if it's B. I feel like there's a lot to improve on. Like it was a little too management centric, but that's kind of what you're in there for. I would have wanted a little more story, a little more interesting dilemmas. The management sim kind of can make the whole like running an empire feel a little trivial. But I did like this game, so I think it's a high C. I think as an Assassin's Creed game, it's an F. But it was my first little 48 into the whole RPG Assassin's Creed. And I don't like that for the franchise, but like I guess it's a fine Viking game. Definitely bloated. Combat isn't amazing, but it does do a good job kind of being like a roller coaster for like or amusement ride for what like a Viking game could look like. It's all right, but it's definitely a low C. Like there's a gap in these C's here. Okay, it's actually a D because even Watch Dogs Legion, I think it's on a higher tier than Valhalla. I like the whole you can play as any different character set in London. Even though I hate London, I don't know anything about London. Sometimes I feel like I need to catch myself on the strays I give to the UK. I don't hate anyone in the UK. I really like the gimmick of you can play as anyone, they can die, you play as someone else. Like that whole gimmick will earn it some respect for going above Valhalla as like a Ubisoft game. I think it's more original. Final Fantasy VII Remake. This was the first Final Fantasy I played, and it got me into this franchise. Even though, I'm hoping by the end of this year, I get Final Fantasy VIII played and done. So my goal has always been, let's play one Final Fantasy this year. But we're in August, and I haven't played any, so it's looking grim. But hopefully I'll get 8 done. 7's incredible, though. Yeah, it's above both of these games. I fucking love Remake. Even though Rebirth, I think, stepped it up even more. Just such a good introduction to like a huge, like an incredible cast of characters. Yeah, I'm not huge into turn-based. I don't hate it or anything, but it like blends turn-based with real-time in such an incredible way that like I appreciate so much. So yeah, fuck a Remake. Ori. Ori is another game. Like, fuck, man, this game's also incredible. I love the Blind Forest, but Will the Wisp took it in a whole new level. Like the boss fights, the exploration, the music hitting, making you cry. Again, like this could really change. I feel like 7 is definitely above these three, but these three can really shift around for me. I am probably gonna put Ori here. Yeah, I think in between. I put it above Alyx because of like content for price. I think Ori is better. So many A games are in the front half, so I feel like I have to click around. But then I spoil it when I say that. I'm going Resident Evil 3. It's such a disappointment, especially after I went and played OG Resident Evil 3. What a great game that is. The original Resident Evil 3 is fucking amazing and might be my favorite out of the original 3. This remake does it like such a disservice. I would go. I think Valhalla's got the edge, which I hate to say. Resident Evil 3 should have been so much better. The only thing I'll say about this game, it is short, so the disappointment isn't there forever. But Nemesis should have been way more Nemesine. Bars. Yeah, real shame. Because the remakes haven't missed for me, besides this one. And we could actually live in a world where Resident Evil 6's remake is better than 3. Which that scares me to even think about. But that could happen. Probably because the 6 remake is going to be nothing like 6. At least it should be. I'm going to do Phasmophobia because this was a weird one I saw. Because I don't think I played this in 2020. I don't think it really came out on the scene until like 22 or 23. But it's a solid B game. I'll put it right there. It's fun. I got bored of it though. And once you kind of, the fear is gone, for me, that I don't need to play it anymore. So. It was fun until it wasn't scary for me. But I bet if I played it in VR, I would get that fear back. At least for a little bit. Now we're going to do Star Wars Squadrons. I think this is a solid game. The story, I don't remember shit about it. So there's that. But the gameplay was good. I'm going to go A. Or not A. I'm going to go C right there in between them. EA, honestly, I think they can... When they put their mind to it, they can put out some solid bang for your buck games. Legions might need to get bumped down. It feels insulting to Squadrons to put it on the same tier as Legion. I'm just going to hold true. I can't put Squadrons in B. I think it's not good enough to be a B for me. I don't think the story is memorable enough. And the gameplay, I'm not a huge fly guy. Okay, I don't like flying all over the place, so it's like you're not scratching that itch, you know. It is what it is. Ghost of Tsushima. Fuck. The A's are brutal here. There's like one. Where do I put you? Okay, Ghost of Tsushima is probably top 3. Does it crack above Cyberpunk? Definitely at launch it did. For me, I'm gonna go like that. Maybe if I did a new playthrough of Cyberpunk, where I experienced firsthand like better AI, not as many glitches. It would move anything, but honest, like gameplay wise, I think Cyberpunk's gameplay is good. I prefer Ghost of Tsushima's stories. They're both incredible. As of now, Ghost of Tsushima, I'm gonna keep ahead. Yeah, that's a tough one though. Crash Bandicoot 4, really incredible game. I can't believe a Crash game came out like 20 years later and was actually a banger. This game should have been a disaster, but it was really fun. I'm going to go like this. Crash Bandicoot 4 gets the edge over Ori. Yeah, very fun game. I think Crash is an underrated... I think these games hold up still. Maybe 1 might be too hard for someone jumping into that franchise, but Crashes 2 to 4 are like fucking banger. Even 1 is a banger. It's just kind of a harder game than like the other ones are more just fun-centered. But yeah, definitely recommend 4. This game, I feel like kind of gets forgotten about. Crash Bandicoot 4, just a good-ass time. Pathless now. This is a very solid B game. I think these guys have... What is their next game? It's like really soon when this game comes out. Next game. Like Sword of the Sea? Oh, yep. Pre-fired. When's this coming out? It's like this year, right? Here it is. Fuck it. Yeah, they got their Nets game coming out August 19th, so that's actually crazy. So I'm definitely gonna play Sword of the Sea. I don't know if I'll get to it on stream considering what might be out around that time, but I'm definitely excited for that. I'd actually put it above Phasmophobia. I think I put a good like 20 to 40 hours in Pathless, and it was a fun time. Using the bow to fucking move, and then like you'd fight something while you're chasing them. It kind of has like a fast-paced Colossus vibe to it. Like it's just a good game to chill out to with some weird themes of existential dread and the end coming. Fun game. Fall Guys. Now I have the Fall Guys Platinum, so I'm a goat when it comes to this shit. But it's gonna go right there. No, you know what? Just for how much time I got from Fall Guys, I'll put it above Pathless. It's not. I think there was an itch they could have scratched to put it in A if they really went into like a elimination mode. Like they had too many like grab a penguin, put it somewhere modes rather than like the tic tac toe mode. No, that's not it. Where you're like following a path and trying to get to the end, and it's like a race to be like in the 8 that make it. Need more modes like that. I think the final games, the tile mode was fucking cinema, but then you'd have other ones that are kind of like a chase to grab something. They're not as like intense feeling. But overall, Fall Guys was a great game for that time. I knew this shit was gonna slap the second I saw it in like a trailer. I knew Fall Guys was gonna be a banger game that caught on. Love Fall Guys. I wish I could give it A, but I just don't think it has the juice. I'm gonna get the S out of the way, get the hate out of the way. It's an S for me. Now, the only thing that would not give it an S for me is the fact that Factions didn't come out. But I think the single player is still incredible. It really levels up from 1. I don't think 1's like a dated game, but the gameplay is just nuts. Like prone, squeezing through areas. The AI in this game is fucking crazy. I think it might be the most fun I've had in a stealth game ever. And then like the feelings it'll give you for like a boss fight. Like when you're fighting Ellie as a boss, that shit hits crazy. It is like the dread I was feeling in that fight is fucking something I've probably never felt. Like I did not want to push the buttons. And then they released that little roguelike mode. I fucked with that. I put a lot of time into that. I actually probably put like 50-ish hours into it, and I already got like 300 plus hours in the main game. I think there's a lot of fun mini games here, a lot of customization stuff to find. I'm a big fan of this game. Story, my only complaint with the story, I think Abby isn't like as necessary for the prequel stuff. Like I don't think you need all the prequel stuff with Abby. I think some of it can be cut off. And also her group as a whole you don't connect with as much. But also that was probably just never going to happen with like what they did going into that moment. But I do think Last of Us Part 2 is, spoilers, the best game this year. I feel like Demon's Souls doesn't get enough credit for really establishing the Souls genre. I think Dark Souls gets a lot more. Like, yeah, the Souls games definitely follow Dark Souls more. But the stuff Demon's Souls establish is pretty much what Souls games are in a lot of aspects. The bosses, a lot more dumb. Runbacks, brutal here. The whole world mechanism is kind of janky and weird. And it doesn't have the connectivity of the map that Dark Souls has. But it's a great game. And you already see where I'm putting it. It's B. It is really close to A. And I'm judging it more like remake. Like, I'm not saying all the way back then. This is too different for me to really judge, like, the original. So, like, the one that came out in whatever year it was probably would be an A. But the remake Demon's Souls is a B. Let's do Maneater. Probably high C right there. I'll put Squadrons above it. Maneater, you just a shark, bro. And you eating shit. But it's fun. Lacks depth. But what did you expect for playing as a fucking shark? Avengers is definitely the worst game left. And that's a D. It's a low D, honestly. Little Hope's still the worst. Right there. Avengers, I mean, these are just dollar store Avengers. And it has a cast I do fuck with. Troy Baker and Nolan North are in this shit. I think, is Laura Bailey in it? Laura Bailey's Black Widow. Like, it has an incredible cast. I just think the takes on these characters was very generic, and the whole infighting wasn't that viable. I do think it starts cool with like Kamal Khan going through the tour. That stuff was cool, and maybe it got better with like DLCs and stuff. But I was already checked out. Crusader Kings 3. Now this is strictly judging the Game of Thrones mod, but this is fucking actually a easy. Actually, no, it's a B for me right now, but it's my brain's broken on this game, okay? Because I'm judging a mod that gets updated over time. So this shit could earn its way. Maybe in like by the time it's 2030, it's all the way up here or something. Maybe it gets into S when we got Essos and all these different timelines in the Game of Thrones world or Song of Ice and Fire world. Right now it's B. I need Essos before I can put it in A. But if you love a Song of Ice and Fire, the Crusaders Kings 3 mod is the closest thing to like the dream game you can get. So I definitely recommend checking this shit out. $5 and you get so much friendships ended and also fun had. I think it could go as high as here. I don't think I'm putting it there. I'm probably putting it here. But I literally wouldn't. I think someone could say it's their favorite game of this year and I couldn't even fucking. Hey. You get so much content out of that game. And yes, some of the maps are trash, but all you need is one good map and you can get like 20 hours of fun out of it. Among Us is a fire game. It's the type of game that I want a Survivor game to be. Don't know if it's ever going to happen, but yeah, fucking love Among Us. I mean, who doesn't? You're a freak if you don't love Among Us. Hades, or maybe you just don't like people lying to you. Hades is right there. A lot of people probably put in A. For me, I'm not huge into roguelike games, so I didn't have a ton of replay value. I think I only beat it once, so I will say that. It took me like 30 hours. I beat it once, and then that was it. But I had a lot of fun with it. Doom Eternal, let's do Spider-Man. I like you, Spider-Man. I don't like you that much. You're going to go right there. I do think, the more I think about it, this game does have it could kind of be ahead of 2. I think 2. Well, this isn't about 2. We'll get to that in like 2023. I'm not trying to say 2 is a bad game, by the way. I just think Miles Morales is a lot better the more you look at it. Is it kind of just Spider-Man 1, but you're playing as Miles Morales? Yeah. But you get like a fun chase scene with fucking Rhino. I think the villain's solid here. The lightning abilities add a lot. The music in this game, like Miles Morales is a fun game, and it really did a good job of like making you connect to this character, and then having that really be expanded upon in 2. Like this game is necessary because then you go into Spider-Man 2 and you fuck with both Spider-Man, rather than like kind of feeling like Miles Morales is stealing the shine in 2. So yeah, I like it, but I mean all these other games I think are better standalone experiences, whereas this one you already have the incredible first game that does so much more than this one is shooting for. So that's where I'm feeling. Finally, Doom Eternal. I would go right there. I think what puts it above Ghost of Tsushima and Cyberpunk is like, for what Doom Eternal is doing, I don't really have any like major gripe with. Where Ghost of Tsushima, my gripe would be probably like the stealth. Side stuff is fun, but there are a lot of it, and some of it, like the fox chasing, wasn't fun. Cyberpunk, the launch issues. I don't think it ever like really becomes as good as it could have been. Even now, like car customization or something like that. You look at a game like GTA 5, it's like there's stuff that Cyberpunk it could have done a lot more, and even the gameplay wasn't like it's good. It's not like great. Cyberpunk really the only there's complaints you can have with both these games that for me are bigger complaints, and probably my biggest complaint of Doom Eternal will be like, I don't know, story's a little generic. Don't really care too much about that in a Doom game. So Eternal's gameplay's fucking amazing. The linear, like getting clapped and then learning it and getting better at it. Like I have a lot of fun with Eternal. Still probably my favorite Doom game. Although I do like Dark Ages, I really did fuck with. I think Doom Eternal is just a lot cleaner of a game. There's not like slower parts of it. Eternal's a very solid game. And yeah, I think it is top 3. But this is a very quality year for games. Like, talk about a fire. Like, there are so many games that should be in the Game of the Year discussion. As I'm going back right now, out of all the years I've done for games, this is probably the best year. 2018 has two like games that are neck and neck, but I think as a collective, this is a very fucking good year for games. And not gonna spoil it. There's like one more year that I haven't done yet that I think might be able to compete with this one. We'll see by the time I'm like looking at the list. But yeah, that's it for 2020. I think it's a very good year for games.